You're watching Business 360 and I'm your host Naveed Manzoor. As you know, in our program, we bring in esteemed guests who have been successful entrepreneurs, or at least people who have been instrumental in supporting entrepreneurship in Canada. And today in our studio, we have very important guests. One of them is Mr. Mukesh Gupta from TIE organization. Welcome, Mr. Mukesh.
Thank you, Naveed.
What does TIE stand for exactly?
TIE stands for the Indus Entrepreneur, and it was started out in 1992 in Silicon Valley by some of the successful entrepreneurs who themselves achieved success, and they thought it was an idea that they would like to give back to the community. Okay. And so the challenges that they faced, perhaps the next generation would be able to benefit.
And you are the chair of an institute as well that TIE has recently put together?
Yes, although we've been around for almost 20 years, and we have done a number of programs that promotes entrepreneurship. We felt that in Toronto, we should start an institute. Therefore, we are able to structure the education of entrepreneurship, and more importantly, by entrepreneurs.
Excellent. So we'll get more details from you. And on my left, I have Mr. Haroon Mirza, who is the CEO of Cognovision, a very successful acquisition recently by Intel Corporation. We welcome you, Haroon, to our studios.
Thanks for having me, Naveed.
We are definitely interested in knowing more about your journey, making it all the way. And you look very young to have achieved what you did. Definitely we'd like to know more about your product as well. So let's just start with Mr. Gupta first and see what you have to say about the programs that TIE is launching. And basically, can you tell us more about what TIE is all about before we get on to the different programs you offer?
Yes, TIE has an organization. We exist around the world. We have 57 chapters in various cities and various countries, and close to 16,000 membership of TIE. And out of this, 2,500 of our members, we call them charter members.
Okay.
And these charter members are usually people who have achieved success in their own lives, and they have a commitment to contribute and share their expertise with other entrepreneurs. So they participate in a number of our programs, like TIE Mentoring.
Okay.
And TIE Mentoring becomes a very key, essential part of our programming.
Okay.
And we have a number of these such programs that exist in various different chapters.
Excellent. So I see that you and Haroon know each other from before, with him being able to get some sort of mentoring services from you. And naturally, for the success story that Haroon is bringing, we would like to know what is it that you had provided to Cognovision now that it has been very successful. What did it take and how did you contribute?
Like I said, that we have a TIE mentoring program, and through this TIE mentoring program, we encourage young entrepreneurs, aspiring entrepreneurs, or people who have idea but do feel that they need some subject matter expertise or some guidance. So the seasoned people who have been there may not be necessarily in the same technology, but the life experiences of those people are very beneficial when we conduct these mentoring programs. And perhaps Haroon can tell about his experiences in coming in contact with TIE mentoring.
Certainly. Let's talk to you a little bit about TIE then, and see how you guys tie up the cooperation you got from TIE. How did it help you exactly, and who were your mentors, and what was the guidance that you required, especially in your early stage of putting this technology together?
Sure. So I think to give a bit of background, when Cognovision was started, I was about 24 years old at the time, and recognized that I didn't really have much experience associated with entrepreneurship. So one of the things, being a young person, that I was looking for was guidance and advice on how do you do this? How do you start a company? How do you grow a company? How do you take it so that it becomes successful in the long run? And this is where TIE was a great help and assistance to us. essentially, when we linked up with Ty, we were actually part of a business venture competition called TyQuest, which is hosted by Ty Toronto. So I think every year about 200 entrepreneurs participate in this business venture contest. So we were, me and my two co-founders, were all involved in putting together essentially an application for this business venture contest. And this exposed us to TyQuest and to Ty.
Okay.
As a result of that contest, we got linked up with an actual mentor right here in Toronto. And that process for us was important because as we came up with theoretical ideas on how to actually grow a company and what would work from a go-to-market plan standpoint, our mentor would come in and based on just years and years of great wisdom would give us feedback to help us evolve our idea and concept. And that's essentially how our first exposure to the entire mentorship process and how it began.
I see. So that's interesting because, in a typical business, especially a startup, there are different stages where you go from your concept to your prototype, and from there to your marketing, your positioning of the business, and business planning, and so on. Essentially, what it looks like is that you were in the process of developing something that was at the conceptual space, or at a stage where you had developed some sort of a solution and a prototype. Was it a stage where you required mentorship, or was the stage before where you had actually conceptualized things and you were trying to find the market niche?
It was very early stage. Basically, we had an idea. We did not have a prototype that we could demonstrate at that point in time. So at this idea stage, we were figuring out, well, what should we be prototyping? Who would be the key customers over here? How would we actually take this to market? And during that phase, it helped us, I think, solidify what our concept would be, helped us take us to the point where we would build a rapid prototype, and then essentially form the basis for what would become Cognivision. So it was very early stage when we engaged. But now what's important is you talk about how you go through the journey.
Right.
As we were going through our journey, when we were approaching our first actual launch, I think we realized that it would have also been very nice to have additional mentorship come in from an individual who understood the technology space. So our mentor here in Toronto was a great seasoned business mentor. He could help us with any type of general business.
Sorry, was he a referral from Ty that we just talked about?
Absolutely,
Same
yes.
thing. Okay.
Absolutely, it was all through Ty. It was actually specifically through the TyQuest Business Venture Contest where we were linked up with our mentor. Now, as our company was progressing and we were about to launch our first products, at that point, I think it became important to us to also get advice from an additional mentor who understood technology.
Okay.
So what we did was, Ty being a global organization, the thought process was, well, what's one of the most amazing places in the world for technology companies? And it's Silicon Valley. So we called Ty Silicon Valley and actually got linked up with a second mentor.
Let's just hold on to that thought and we'll continue. We'll take a short break and we'll be right back. Business 360.